Welcome, everyone.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 9/22/23.
Hey, Chris. Look, everyone, it's CC. You seem like you want to say something or some things. So what's on your mind?
Today's a Friday. I like to give you a Think About a Friday video, just in case if I'm unable to do anything on the weekend. However, this weekend turns out to be a big washout here in New York. Rain starts at about 5 a.m. tomorrow, and I think it's going to continue until Monday. None of those summer storms, that just come by for an hour and then just, boop, gone. No, these are the fall storms that are coming in. Anyway, summer's over, fall begins, and a new chapter for your children in school of their lives begins.
I knew you didn't come here to talk about the weather. Just to let you know, Chris, but school children in general have been in school at this time of year for quite a while now. In fact, where I live, they started school at the end of July.
How's everything over in your county, state, country? Everything's good?
Oh, it's the same it's always been. Nothing new to report.
Yeah, everything's just Jim Dandy over here in New York. Yeah, they're starting to wear the face masks again. The NPCs from last year still to come out again. Not as bad, though. Not as bad. The ratio now, I believe, is on the road, on the street, if you walk through town, 25-30% are wearing the diaper. And the other people are confused. They don't know what to do. It's like a computer program. See, I'm going to get into that later. See, they're confused. All right? They're not part of the system. Wait a minute, are we wearing them again? Because they were all wearing them at one time, weren't they? We were the only ones that weren't.
First, we humans are not non-player characters. Second, it is the beginning of flu season. Third, it's their choice to wear a mask if they feel the need. And fourth, no one is forcing you to wear one, so stop complaining about it.
Oh shit, so many things to talk about, but let's just get into this. Let's talk about Earth. I love Earth. Earth is so easy to tell somebody who's not a flat earther the points of the ridiculous nonsense that they believe by living on a spinning wet ball.
Ooh, okay, I'm game. What are these points, Cece?
Okay, like for example, where is the bleeding part of space begin?
Not sure what you mean by bleeding part of space. Please elaborate.
Okay. See, what worries me is, now follow me on this. Think about it. Remember, it's a Think About It Friday, so you got to think about these things. Since the atmosphere is bleeding out into space, and space is a vacuum, which is sucking everything off, and there shouldn't be anything at all here.
Now, Chris, as Rajigal the Unhallowed Knight says, this is a fucking family video, so please watch your phrasing.
But, all right, we'll just forget about that for a second. I want you to think about this, though. If we do live on a ball, and we're not covered with a dome, and the atmosphere is actually leaving this spinning wet ball, this imaginary spinning wet ball, why isn't the atmosphere, which is mostly moisture, freezing? It should be, shouldn't it be? I would say so. It's going into the coldness, the endless amount of space, the freezing cold of space. So in a sense, the Earth should be covered in this frozen little ball.
Why, pray tell, would our atmosphere, which is a pressure gradient, be freezing as it bleeds into space?
But you don't see that with NASA, though. No, you see this nice blue marble through NASA. That's right. There's nothing on the atmosphere like frost or anything like that. Okay, these are things to think about.
You make absolutely no sense, Cece. Cold is the absence of heat and is irrelevant when it comes to the Earth's atmosphere bleeding into space. See, there are few particles moving around in space for the heat to transfer to, thus space really has no temperature. And the water vapor in Earth's atmosphere makes up to 4% of its total volume. So no, the Earth would not turn into a frozen little ball.
Oh, it's so much fun. Come on, let's have some more fun with the globe. Please? Okay. Fuck. It's just so ridiculous how anybody can believe that we live on a spinning wet ball, that we're in this endless space, that there's nothing out there. But that's the science that they understand. You see, that's the science that they have been brought up with. Okay, our science is simple. Covered with a dome, stationary, no space at all whatsoever. Everything's inside. stars, sun, not floating around in space at all these astronomical amount of speed, nothing, nobody feels any movement at all. It's simple for us because we understand it.
Your science is not science. It's denial, delusion, willful ignorance, personal incredulity, confirmation bias, and cognitive dissonance. Did I leave anything out? I'm sure if I did, you all in the side chat and those commenting later in this video will let me know. Oh, and CC, are you saying that flat earthers are simple and can only understand that the flat earth is like a terrarium? That I do agree with.
Okay, the people that believe in a spinning wet ball, they don't understand what's going on. They have no idea. They don't understand how fast Venus is spinning right now. You know, they don't know if they live in an everlasting expanding universe, or is it contracting? Is it expanding? I don't know. The scientists can't seem to figure that out.
We don't understand. Really? Okay. Why keep bashing the globe instead of explaining how the flat earth really works? Because no two flat earthers can agree on what composes the flat earth. Is there no dome, or is there a dome? And if there is a dome, what is it made of? Are the sun, moon, and other planets and stars outside of this dome, under the dome, or between two domes? Is it stationary, or does it accelerate upwards? Is there only one ice wall and that's it, or are there other concentric rings past the ice wall with other lands and ice walls? Ranting about your misunderstandings of the globe and complaining we don't understand really is just a waste of energy. Just a thought, but maybe while you wait for your clients to get out of their appointments, exercise your brain and do a crossword or some other word games from a puzzle book or from a gaming app on your phone.
This is the bullshit that these scientism has given people to live off of, to munch down on like a coffee cake. It's pretty sad, isn't it? It really is. Have you ever seen a star? No.
Just had to throw scientism in there like the globe is religious indoctrination. Nice try, Chris. Even you have seen a star. The biggest one in our sky is called the sun.
No, you've seen lights up in the sky that are flickering. Has anybody who believes in a ball ever bothered to go out and get a camera, over-the-counter camera, you don't have to order anything fancy, and zoom in on these things and actually look at what the flickering little round thing looks like? Yeah, it doesn't look anything like anything NASA has put out. No, it looks like there's water in the background. That's what the flickering is all about. Okay?
Plenty of people who actually know how to not use autofocus have done just that, and there are videos on YouTube like this.
Alrighty, there he is. He's coming into view. Try to get it in focus. Alrighty, that dancing ball of light up there is Antares. It's down about the 5 o'clock position from Jupiter. So that's basically the best we can get for stars with this type of camera. A shimmering, flashing, colorful light. Alrighty. Well, we got 4 of them tonight. That's gonna have to do.
Has anybody bothered to look any of the verses in the Bible about waters above? No, they haven't. They have come up with ways to try to debunk us, which is total nonsense of garbage. Showing pictures of nonsense that they grew up with. Showing us a picture of the sun with all of this neat shit going on. You know, sun rays and all these explosions. When meanwhile, when we zoom in on it, it's a flat disk that's yellow with little black specks going around it.
Bible verses? That's your go-to evidence for what the stars look like because you rely on autofocus from a really bad camera? No wonder you don't understand anything. Especially the different light spectrums the spherical rotating sun is photographed in, which is why it looks different in different images and videos. Nope, to you it's a flat yellow disk with black spots on it. By the way, the sun is actually white in color.
Yeah. Have they ever bothered to investigate the construction of the ISS? What it was actually put together? Any proof of that? How about China's ISS? Where's the proof of that? It's not anywhere. When they actually built it, I want to see that thing being put together. Hey, we paid for it. Okay? See, it's like getting into politics. It's like Biden giving $1 billion to the Ukraine war and not being accountable of exactly where the money's going. No. No, he's not accountable for it. We'll never find out. If your money's going somewhere, you should know where it's going and what's going on with it, but nobody knows anything. It's just money being taken out of your pocket, being dispersed throughout the entire country.
Yes, those of us who pay U.S. taxes pay for a lot of things. And the U.S. government doesn't have to show us everything just to satisfy your denial. However, you can find videos on YouTube, like this handy-dandy playlist by Scott Manley, or this video, or this video. I am sure there are many others, but you get the idea, CC.
Funding stuff that you would never think your money would be funding. That's sad, guys. Allowing illegals to come in here and sit down with your children in a classroom. Well, your child had to get vaccinated with everything under the sun, and this child doesn't have to do anything at all. And not even speak American. That's great, isn't it? It's wonderful.
First, Chris, there is no such language as American. We in the U.S. speak English. And for a child born or not born in this country to be in school, they have to be immunized. There is a caveat to that, however. According to the CDC, exemptions from state or local governments may apply to some children. All states and the District of Columbia allow a medical exemption. A medical exemption is allowed when a child has a medical condition that prevents them from receiving a vaccine. All but 3 states offer non-medical exemptions for religious or philosophical reasons. Also, although it is a challenge for the New York Department of Education right now with regard to Spanish-only speaking students, on September 6th of this year, the New York Post stated that, ahead of the school year, the Department of Education said it had 3,400 English as new language licensed teachers on hand, as well as more than 1,700 teachers who are fluent in Spanish.
That's wonderful. Okay? This is where your money is going. It's great. Wonderful. Fuck.
Why don't you stop this bullshit? Christ. Idiot. Why don't you go see a psychiatrist?
I already have. He kicked me out of his office.
Wackadoodle.
Honey.
Whack.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 10/2/23. Last weekend, the weekend before last, actually, we had a hurricane. I believe it was Idell. I'm not sure. One of those, who the fuck cares, that came in. Gifted us with, ruining the weekend, of course, and gifting us with approximately, I don't know, maybe about 72 hours of rain. I think it was just straight through rain, cloudy. No chance of getting the camera out and taking the sun or the moon. Not a chance at all.
Aw, poor BB. Hey, weather happens.
And then the storm disappeared. Monday, Tuesday, I think it was gone completely. Tuesday, it was beautiful outside. Wednesday, beautiful outside. You know. Thursday, another beautiful day. Then last Friday, we had an historic event that happened. I asked people about this. Where do you think this storm came from? Oh, it was left over from the hurricane. Bullshit! Wake the fuck up. The hurricane went up to Rhode Island. Went up to Massachusetts. Cape Cod. It disappeared all the way up. It fizzled out. That's what hurricanes do here when they hit New York. Okay? There was no remnants of it at all whatsoever. This storm on Friday gave us an extra bonus of 7.1 world record rain here in Westchester County. Everything got flooded. Bronx River is closed. Hutch is closed. Sawmill, the Springbrook Parkway, all major highways closed. Okay? I don't know about the Springbrook Parkway. Probably down by the major dig, and I closed it down there, definitely. Because I was able to get home. Because I waited it out. You know, I mean, I wasn't going to go... That's not important.
And again, weather happens. Bitching about it won't change it. So what exactly is your point here, Chris?
My point is there was absolutely no warning about this at all whatsoever. None. Okay? None. Weatherman didn't warn us at all. He sure as hell does when the winter comes and we get snow. It's all of a sudden we become farmers. We need bread, butter, and milk. But no warning about this.
I highly doubt people were not warned, especially since the Atlantic Ocean is usually prone to storms during the summer and into the fall. Being a New Yorker, I would think you would know this.
Should have been obvious. I mean, I was tracking the storm since, like, Friday morning, and I could see there was a lot of red, purple in the radar, and red and purple, boys and girls, are not very good, okay? That usually means chance of hail, horrendous downpours. It was obvious. First thing I did is call the significant other, move the car out of the garage immediately. She did, and others followed. They were smart, because that flooded. And same with all the other buildings right next to me, too. All flooded. In fact, some of them still don't have power. We, fortunate enough, do. But
So you do know what the weather can be like in New York this time of year. Bravo! You get a gold star.
don't you understand they're manipulating the weather? And they've been doing this from the beginning. I mean, don't you understand that? What do you think those fucking chemtrails are up there? What do you think those lines in the skies that mysteriously come out of nowhere with this little plane that passes by and goes interact with a bigger cloud and they morph into something even bigger? What do you think those are?
Those aren't chemtrails. Here, Chris, let me show you in a visual so you might understand. Oh, what am I saying, understand? This is a crop duster. See the cloud that comes from directly underneath it? Those are chemicals. This is an airplane flying at a high altitude. See the gap between the engines and the clouds? That is water vapor in the air that condenses and freezes around the exhaust from the airplane engines.
Just so it could look like a painting in the sky? No. They're manipulating the weather, and they've been doing this for a long time now. Now it's getting worse, because they've been able to figure out air pressure and where these storms are coming from and how to intensify it in certain areas. But you see, the problem is they're playing with their own people here in the U.S. unless if it's somebody else from a different country, which I highly doubt. Now, all these planes come from here in the U.S., these chemtrail planes, which are specifically out there, because I don't find them on the tracker.
Nobody react to what I'm about to tell you.
If you look on the plane tracker, because that's how we figured out that planes mysteriously disappear when they go out to the ocean, because there's no radar out there. Because there are no fucking satellites up there, because there's no space. And the only satellites that you see up there are held up by a weather balloon. Not a weather balloon, but a balloon.
Satelloons are real. Satellites are real, and space is real. We've checked. We've shown evidence to support it. It's not our fault that some people choose to still live in nuh-uh land in the year 2023.
You know, you get an object far enough into the atmosphere up there, say 50, 60 miles, maybe even less than that, 40 miles, you know, above air traffic. They could be up there for 6-8 months. That's why sometimes they crash down into the forest, being held up by a big balloon. You think that's a joke? It's not a joke. It's real. I don't know where I was going with this.
Neither do we, but please continue.
Anyway, so just touching base, letting you know what's happening in Westchester County. Everybody is now back to normal. But then when you go up about 25 minutes up north, everything's fine. See, Brooklyn was hit the worst. 9.1 inches of rain. Without being affected by a hurricane. This was a regular storm. Popped up out of fucking nowhere on Friday. Pouring rain all day Friday. I was soaking wet. Excuse me. It's just unbelievable. So I see nobody is taking advantage of proving the globe to us flat earthers. Has anybody proven it at all? No. No, they haven't. They think they have. They think that they see a curve off of when they're up in a plane. Really? Planes only go about 30,000 feet. They think they see a curve when they go to the ocean. Really? Well, that's funny. Or when they're on the mountain. And there's a problem with that because the top scientists of the entire world, I'm talking world here, not just the country, even says no. No, you cannot see a curvature unless if you're out there in space. Has anybody bothered to put a camera on any of these rockets and actually show the Earth getting smaller and smaller and smaller into this blue marble that you know very well that's on your iPhone? No, they haven't. They never will. Has anybody up in the ISS ever done a 360 degree turn to show us what they're looking at? No. No, they won't. No, they'll just show the curvature going, making a smiley face and then a frown, and that's what you get.
Why do you need a 360 view of the Earth from the ISS to satisfy your denial? Give it some time. NASA is working on going back to the moon, and I am sure there will be some very awesome footage. But for now, here is some footage from a spacewalk on the ISS with impressive views of the oblate spheroid we call home.
That's what you get. That's a shame. Has anybody proven us what the hell is made out of these spacesuits, this magical pack that's in the back? Huh? What's in there? What's in there that's preventing the vacuum of space to make it blow up like a balloon? How is that? How is that possible? And flexi hands, too. See, because people don't go to physics. The physics class is very small, shall we say. It's tiny. Just a few people. And nobody listens to them anyway, because they consider them nerds. Well, at least in my day they did.
Where are they? I think they're talking about us. No way.
But they understand that that's not possible. And in all the scientific movies, not even science fiction movies, I should say, that I have watched, I couldn't even fathom an idea of how they can make that possible in that magical pack, which is actually quite small. You know, when you go scuba diving, those oxygen tanks are almost twice the size of that thing. That's just going scuba diving. These are quite slim. Let's see what else. Politics.
Nope, we have heard enough dirt from you today, CC. Don't forget to do all the YouTube-y things. Thank you for watching. You are all awesome. See you in the next video.